Hello friends, the warmest welcome back to my YouTube channel. This is your friend truly Shoham. It's been roughly 1.5 months that I have been back from this space, but all said and done, now I am back. I just can't express in words how excited I am to do this once again. So without wasting any further time, let us quickly cut to the point of discussion today. What exactly are we discussing today? Parliament or the Rajya Sabha, both the houses, complete stalemate by the opposition. Mr. Amit Shah, Mr. Narendra Modi, two of the most powerful politicians of this country, are being held accountable. Jawab chai, jawab dao. Everywhere. The COVID crisis, the unemployment, the economy, the spiraling petrol prices, the price rise of essential commodities, and last but definitely not the least, but I would say rather the biggest one of them all, the Pegasus scandal. Surveillance, snooping, whatsoever. Every day we are seeing that the opposition leaders of this country are finally coming together to hopefully build a platform against this incumbent and this majoritarian BJP government. And definitely it's a positive sign, make no mistake about it. But all said and done, is it too early or too little too late, or is it too small, too baby a step to counter this gigantic electoral machinery that is the Bharatiya Janata Party? Let us discuss that point by point. Initially, let's make one thing clear. The result of the upcoming West Bengal election, the Tamil Nadu election and the Kerala election have proven beyond doubt that the so-called unassailable, unbeatable, indomitable BJP electoral machinery can be taken to the cleaners if you have the conviction in the grassroots level of workers, if you have a strong organizational level, and if you have a strong mass base among the most charismatic leader of your party, then yes, Bharatiya Janata Party can be defeated. More so, it has been made evident by the West Bengal election result. So, does that mean that all is well? Does that mean that if we go by the saying, which is that morning shows the day, Shuruaat achhi hai? Definitely the indicative signs, they are positive, make no mistake about it. The Rahul Gandhis, the Mamata Banerjees, the Sharad Pawars, the Shiv Sena, the Samajwadi Party, the MIM, the NCP, the RJD, who's who, and even the Aam Aadmi Party, everyone, they are coming together in a common platform to hold the government accountable and to grab this government by its horn. Is it? As I said so far the indicators have been positive. So far it has definitely been fruitful. At least and at last the opposition is grabbing the much necessary headline that it should have done from 2019. But to be very honest, despite of everything that is going for the opposition so far, there are many roadblocks to it. And make no mistake, there are many roadblocks while I say so. Let's first count the roadblocks one after the other. And why do we say so? The first and really a very, very crucial roadblock, and that is this Modi versus who narrative. Why do we say this Modi versus who narrative? No matter how much you like it, no matter how much you dislike it, or no matter how much you try to ignore it, in today's market-driven media optics, today's market-driven economy, market-driven media optics, this concept of an all-encompassing and one-stop solution leader looms large. And the Bharatiya Janata Party, being this behemoth electoral machinery, they have got answers to this question, whereas the opposition so far doesn't. Is it necessary? I might say not. But the voting trend suggests that electorate of this country definitely feel that yes, they need a face to vote for, apart from the political party, of course. Because this is the way the cult of the leader, the supreme leader, comes into the well-being, and history bears testimony to this fact. But the opposition doesn't have answer to this question, because so far, this is a problem that is engulfing the opposition, despite of all the honest intention and despite of all the conviction that they have been, with the conviction they have been doing. who will lead the opposition? Is it a Rahul Gandhi? Is it a Mamata Banerjee? Is it a Sharad Pawar? Who is the face? चेहरा कौन? विरोधीদের मुख के? This is the question that definitely the opposition have to find an answer much before 2024 elections, and definitely before that. And it should not be a classic case of they are doing it too little, too late. Second point, the state-wise compulsion of the opposition parties. Just in continuation to what I have been discussing so far, despite of all the honest intention of the opposition parties to come to a common platform, to come to reach the common minimum program and a common minimum goal, it is very much a fact that there are states where the key opposition allies in the parliament or Rajya Sabha, they will not have a seat sharing alliance. Example, Uttar Pradesh. Uttar Pradesh will go to election very soon, probably the end of this year. But there, mark my words, the Congress and the Samajwadi Party will not come to a common platform against the Bharatiya Janata Party if we go by the statement of Mr. Akhilesh Yadav, their supreme leader. Similar to other states, similar in Punjab. In Punjab, despite of the opposition unity and Aam Aadmi Party and both Congress being the part of the opposition unity against the BJP in parliament, in Punjab, Congress and the Aam Aadmi Party will not come to a common platform against the Bharatiya Janata Party. Similar in Bihar also. I mean, Bihar, even in West Bengal, in my own state, I would say. I mean, I can't even imagine Mamata Banerjee and the left coming together and coming to a common minimum platform to have a 1:1 fight against the BJP. It is synonymous to daydreaming in states like West Bengal. So, this might be a big deterrent to the all-round opposition unity. And also apart from that, there are so many other factors. I mean, the Bharatiya Janata Party is an expert in playing the Hindutva card, the muscular nationalism. 90% of the mainstream media, which we famously call the Godi media, BJP's IT cell and all other factors combined, definitely they make it very difficult for the opposition to put up a brave front against Mr. Narendra Modi and Mr. Amit Shah. And also apart from the fact that now it is 2021 and the general elections in almost 3 years, and in between this time we have got very important Uttar Pradesh election, the Punjab election, the Tripura election, everything. So everything combined will lead up to the 2024 litmus test for the opposition and also for the government, which definitely as of now is in a cornered state. Make no mistake about it. But as we were discussing about the problem, what can be the probable solution to this, which the opposition can definitely find an answer to? This comes from an individual perspective. I am no psephologist, I am no electoral strategist, anything like that. But as a keen observer of politics, these are my observations that what can be the probable solution that is plaguing the opposition as of now, despite of all the trials and tribulations that they are trying to go through. Firstly, try your best and put your best foot forward to have a 1:1 fight against the BJP. If not a 1:1 fight against the BJP, at least go for an undercurrent or tactical alliance. We know it's very difficult for all the opposition leaders, regional satraps to come to a common platform against the BJP and have a complete 1:1 fight. It's very difficult, I would say virtually impossible in certain states. But what the opposition can do is, we can have the concept of an undercurrent alliance, a tactical alliance. Now by tactical alliance, what exactly do we mean is, for example in Uttar Pradesh, Samajwadi Party is in a majority of places, Samajwadi Party is in a much stronger place than the Congress to challenge the Bharatiya Janata Party. So in places where Samajwadi Party is strong, Congress, just for the heck of it, can give a very lightweight candidate, and vice versa. In places where Congress is stronger than Samajwadi Party can also do the same. This model can also be replicated in places like Bihar, Rajasthan, Chhattisgarh, Kerala, and even in opposition ruled state or even states which are ruled by the BJP, but the opposition is in a much stronger state. This formula can definitely be applied. Second solution that the opposition can definitely have, it is something that they must start working on round the clock for this, is to have a common minimum program like they had in UPA days. the common minimum program, the common platform, which will act as an alternative to the BJP model of governance, which the opposition is rightly so against. Despite of the very strong anti-Modi sentiment that the opposition has, the opposition must have the common minimum platform regarding the economy, the job crisis, the defense sector, everything combined. They should have an alternative model of governance against the Bharatiya Janata Party, which should be signed off by the who's who of the opposition camp. Because if they do so, then definitely this will act as not only as just an opposition on paper, this will truly come a strong alternative where the opposition can prove to electorate that they mean business, and definitely they have it within them to take on this behemoth known as the Narendra Modi government and the BJP electoral machinery, and this will not end up in a khichdi of sorts, and this will not end up in a Game of Thrones like Kaun Banega Pradhan Mantri. So this is something that the opposition must sort out. Thirdly, involve civil society and have campaigns like no vote to BJP in states where the opposition is stronger or where the opposition is definitely in a position to counter the BJP. For people who are unaware of No Vote to BJP, No Vote to BJP is a campaign that was spearheaded initially by left-wing intellectuals to stop the BJP from grabbing power in West Bengal, which later became a mass movement where intellectuals, writers, dancers, filmmakers, college students, politicians, everyone who were opposed to the Bharatiya Janata Party, they came together via their artwork, initiated a citizens forum, and definitely they influenced a lot of voter mindset through their dance, their films, their short films, music videos, everything. It became a cultural phenomena against the aggressive right-wing politics of the Bharatiya Janata Party, and it heaped dividends to Mamata Banerjee and the Trinamool Congress, and they feel they came to power for the third time in a row. The opposition should definitely involve these sort of citizens activists, citizen forums against the Bharatiya Janata Party if they want to go beyond the electorate machinery. Because electorally, when it comes to electoral machinery, Bharatiya Janata Party is a much stronger position than the opposition. The money, muscle, everything. The last one. This might be a tricky proposition, but it's high time that the fence sitters should be involved more in the opposition camp. What do we mean by fence sitters? There are parties like Biju Janata Dal, Naveen Patnaik. There are parties like Telangana Rashtriya Samiti, KCR. Also, there are parties, YSR Congress, who are ruling Andhra Pradesh, Jagan Mohan Reddy. These parties are fence sitters for the simple fact that they are perceived to be neither pro-Congress or pro-BJP or neither anti-Congress or anti-BJP. They are fence sitters. Their every move of whatever they do politically depends on the political situation in Delhi, the national capital. So the more you involve these people in anti-BJP activities, the more you try to manipulate them in your manifold, the better for the opposition unity. And for that, you need a master election strategist like a Prashant Kishore. Yes, involve Mr. Prashant Kishore more in these activities. So, all said and done, are we then suggesting that the 2024 Narendra Modi will spell doomsday for the BJP government? No. I mean, we might be jumping at the top of a seat, we might be jumping out of a seat if we say so, that definitely BJP BJP will be ousted from power 2024. It is much easier said than it's not so easy, because I mean, similar attempts have been made in 2019 also, but we all know how it ended. But definitely, it's a good beginning. The opposition is taking baby steps, and opposition is definitely holding the government to ransom, and definitely the opposition is asking the right questions and making the right aggressive attacking move, and it's a welcome thing in our country that the opposition is finally showing some spine and some courage to take on the BJP government to the cleaners. How far they will sustain, it has a Shomai Bolbe, but as they said that definitely the questions which the opposition don't have an answer so far, which I've already tried to touch point upon. They must find answers too. And the state elections, Uttar Pradesh, Punjab, Tripura, these elections are extremely crucial for both the opposition and the BJP. As of now, for the opposition, what I can say is ruk jana nahi, and for the BJP I can say is, and Mr. Modi, Mr. Shah is, बाबूजी ज़रा धीरे चलो, समझ जा ज़रा. Thank you so much for watching my video today. Nice to be back at this space, and for news and updates, for more videos, keep subscribing to my channel Truly Shoham and the bell icon, and it is wonderful interacting with all of you. More when we meet. Thank you so much. Bye bye.